Okay, everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Rocking Dave from North Fort Myers, Florida, and I want to wish everyone, all the mothers out there, a happy Mother's Day. And this is the first installment of a video series which I'm going to call How to Do. And I'll be spotlighting a lot of different aspects of my playing and some of the gear I'm using and things of that nature. But I want to start out this video with something that's very basic, but I really feel it's a need to understand. And one aspect is the understanding of the fretboard, where all your notes are laid out. It's really not that difficult. The method I'm going to show you is just one perspective of showing it. There's a lot of ways you could approach this, but I really feel that this is the easiest, and it might appear to be the longest, but it really is the easiest because you're going to know the whole fretboard. Especially the more you do it, the better you get at it. It's going to lock in your memory bank. Now, what I'm going to do is I will include the sharp notes and flat notes as well. And I'm going to take it from open position all the way to 12th fret position. If you notice and you look on the guitar, on your side you might see a series of 2 dots there. That means that's your 12th fret. And what that simply means is that all the notes that start here in the open position, meaning open means you're not fretting. That is a note, but I did not fret it. That's a note. All these notes, they repeat themselves on the 12th fret. And then everything here just repeats itself down here. It's just a higher pitch. So first, I want to just tell you guys that my guitar is in standard tuning. Might be slightly like a hair flat, but basically it's in standard tuning. And in standard tuning, our notes are from low pitch to high pitch. These are your notes. E, A, D, G, B, and E. So, if you understand the layout on this top string right here, your low E string, you're going to know the layout of this string. Now again, that's in standard tuning. We won't touch on alternate tuning at all. We're just going to keep things simple. And another thing you guys really should understand is that the strings are counted backwards, meaning high pitch to low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's how they're counted. So, without any further ado, let's get on with this. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is explain the sharps. Your sharp note has your sharps and flats. Those are the notes that have 2 names. They have 2 different names, but they're basically the same. They're the same note. So, this note right here happens to be known as F sharp, but it also is known as G flat. And one of the most simple ways to understand this is that this note here is called F. This note is F sharp. That note is G. If I go back down, I will choose to call it G flat, because what I did is I took this pitch and I lowered it. I flattened it, kind of like you flatten a tire. You don't want to flatten a tire, but you know what I mean. It's lowering the pitch. But it's still known as F sharp or G flat. Now, when you get into music theory and the way the scales are laid out in the different keys, you're going to have your sharp keys and your flat keys, you know, what's in this key and what's in that key. So that's a totally different subject for a different time. But just to get yourself familiarized with this fretboard, it is not as hard as it appears. And some people would like to do the jumping around, you know, meaning the E is here, E is here, E is here. That's fine if you can understand that. But it's been my experience in teaching that here's the deal. After you're done focusing on tuning your guitar, your peripheral vision is going to see this string instantly before it sees these strings down here. So if I take simplicity and just run with it and just say, okay, we're done tuning our guitar, right? We're done with this area right here. Now let's move on to this area. It's going to make sense. So, but this is what I'm going to do for this video. I'm only going to name the names of the top 3 strings up to the 12th fret. The bottom 3, I want everyone to put a little effort into it. And I want you to remember this. If you know the layout on this string, you're going to know the layout on that string. So if I tell you these top 3 strings, really all you have to remember is these 2 strings right here. Because if you could understand this, you'll understand that string. Okay? Hope this makes sense. So, with any further ado, I hope this is not going too fast. I just don't want to have a very long video, but I want to make it as clear as possible. So here we go. Your first note, open note, that's E. That is F. That's F sharp on the 2nd fret. 3rd fret, that's G. 4th fret, that's G sharp. 5th fret, that's A. 6th fret, that's A sharp. 7th fret, that's B. 8th fret is C. 9th fret, C sharp. 10th fret is D. 11th fret, D sharp. 12th fret is E. Now if you notice, there's only going to be 2 notes that don't have a sharp or a flat. Those 2 notes are the distance between E and F and the distance between B and C. Now I know I named the names in only sharps, not flats. So let me go back and name the sharp and flat notes. Again, this is F sharp or G flat. The 4th fret is G sharp or A flat. 6th fret, A sharp or B flat. We skip these 2. This note right here is C sharp or D flat. That's on your 9th fret. On the 11th fret, that's known as D sharp or E flat. 12th fret is E. Oh, and guess what? Your 13th fret, that's F. See higher pitch, just like F right here? F right there. Everything starts all over again. Now we're going to move on to our A string. And again, if this is going too fast, please rewind the video and take your time to just really look at this, because in the musical alphabet, we only have 7 notes. And then you have 5 variations of those 7 notes, which are your sharps and flats. Okay, we're going to move on to our 5th string. It's known as A, our A string. Okay, open, that's A. A sharp or B flat. B, C, C sharp or D flat. 5th fret is D. D sharp or E flat. E, F, F sharp or G flat. G, G sharp or A flat. And at the 12th fret is your A. Again, rewind the video and just keep watching that. Now we're going to move on to our 4th string, and the last string I'm going to demonstrate for this video. And this is our 4th string, or also known as our D string. Okay, here we go. Open, that's D. D sharp or E flat. E, F, F sharp or G flat. 5th fret is G. G sharp or A flat. A sharp or B flat. 9th fret, that's B. 10th fret is C. 11th fret, C sharp or D flat. And 12th fret is D. The distance between here and here, they call this a full octave. That means it's 8 notes, even though we pass by 12 frets. And to make this a little bit easy to understand, I'm going to take a C major scale. No sharps, no flats. And I'm going to play C to C. Okay? And I'm going to do this on one string so that maybe it'll be easy for you people to digest this, what octave means, 8 notes, but even though I just went across 12 frets. Again, no sharps or flats. I will be skipping some frets, but I'm going to name them all, and then you'll see. C, that's your first note. D, that's your second note. E, that's your third note. F, that's your fourth note. G, that's your fifth note. A, that's your seventh note. B, that's your seventh note. A was your sixth note. B is your seventh note. And back to C, that's your eighth note. That's why they call it an octave. Okay, so really it's not that confusing if you just break things down in simplicity. And again, if you I'm sure you've noticed a pattern. We're constantly repeating these notes. They're just laid out in a different order per string. So hopefully you guys could understand the G string and the B string, that layout. All you have to remember is everything that I said here. You take G, there's your G string, and you start in that order right there. You could, if you use this as a reference, that was my G. That's G sharp or A flat. That's A. That's A sharp or B flat. And that's B, and so forth. So if I take the same concept, I have an open G. I have a G sharp or A flat. I have A sharp or B flat. I have B, and I have C. Now, go ahead and try to figure out the rest. It's really not that difficult. And the reason why I'm saying this is because something magical happens when a person really applies themselves. All this information gets locked in your memory banks, and then you're going to see it's really not that difficult. It might appear to be a longer way doing it this way, but once it's locked in your memory bank, you could literally look at the fretboard anywhere and instantly know where your notes are laid out. And you'll never be confused. Because once you know your layout, if a number system, meaning like F5 or flatted third or things of that nature, if those things confuse you, once you understand where the notes are laid out, it might appear to be a longer way to express what you're trying to say. It might be longer terms in conversation. What I'm trying to say here? But you're going to know where things are laid out. This method has helped me to jam with keyboard players, piano players, violin players, horn players, because I would always ask them, what are your notes, low pitch to high, above and below, middle C, and I mean middle C on the staff. Your middle C on the staff is either this note here, 3rd fret A string, on a 6-string guitar in standard tuning, or 8th fret on your low E string. That's your middle C on the staff. Once you got this understood, it's going to be so easy to know where you're actually located, where your notes are laid out. So I hope this was helpful and not boring, but I really want to explain it in a way that is very simple. I believe in simplicity. To me, simplicity rules, and I'm sure a lot of people out there feel the same way. If a person wants to understand music theory, you find some videos out there, and even videos on the layout of the fretboard. Use everything to your advantage. It doesn't matter if I'm showing you or somebody else. The main goal is getting you to understand this. That's the main goal. So until next time, my friends, take care, God bless, and happy Mother's Day. Bye.